on that Minotaur as well, right? It's gonna be,
like
like you like to say, Unga
Smash
Boonga
them.
Wombo Combo.
Combo.
Let's go into game
Let's go.
number 2. It's gonna be Homebois up against Evil. Homebois with a decisively different draft here compared to the previous one, and also they have a lot of poke on the side of their heroes. They have it on the Novaria as well as the Beatrix to slowly chunk away at Evil before they take a fight.
Yeah, so upon second thoughts now, having some time to think about this Helker pick, I actually like the pick a lot because when the side of Evil here show the God pick, why you want to pick God is when heroes that cannot really go near your vicinity, right? Because the stun range of God cannot be in melee range. That's number one, right? So having and just now I actually mentioned about the possibility of them picking an assassin, alright? And Helker kind of falls in that nice in between here. So overall I really like this idea coming out from Homebois here.
Well, 3 cheers to Coach Dale, I gotta have to say, huh? Well, the poke potential is definitely one thing that we are looking out for, and Jogs also will have that kind of opportunity to really close in within the range and go for a kill onto whoever has been poked out. That will plus the curtain call. Evil would not be able to have that kind of time to eventually respond to, number one, what happens to the poke and what happens after the poke. Because by that time that maybe Pex lands his Star Shatter, or perhaps even Enya landing the Renner's Apathy, you can pretty much expect Jogs to appear.
Yeah, I mean, Dairy right now though, getting stunned out by the Mystic Projectile. Pex throws a random shot of Star Shatter out, doesn't land, but they are actually just setting up for the turtle, right? You can see them rotating up top, spawning in just under 10 seconds, but Homebois has the stronger position.
This is actually a little bit of a different kind of condition for the side of Evil. The previous game, they do have a lot of lane priorities, and that really allows Twist to get out of lane pretty effectively. But this time, when it comes down to playing as an Arlet against a Glue, you don't really want to really go too face-to-face against a Glue in fear of losing your health before a fight starts.
The Dark Knight Falls basically denies all the vision from Evil, and with that they take the turtle completely for free. Vernical was also zoning out the members of Evil. Powerful was not able to get even close to that turtle pit.
Yeah, so vision, right? This is all about the vision game at this point, right? I think Homebois at this point, they understand for Evil to fight first, what do you need to do? You need to be able to see your opponent, right? That's step number 1. Right, so because of that, we actually also see Pex here having the purple buff. I think this was something he either taken on from
like literally
by
just
accident.
He just sniped it.
Oh, he sniped it
He
off
sniped
the
it
Fedrin.
off of Evan.
Oh.
Evil, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so this gives them even more of an advantage now, right? Because later on in total fights, most likely the scenario that we are gonna see here is that Jogs having the over level here on the Fedrin, and that makes them not want to contest because there are so many things that you need to fight against, right? You need to fight against the Dark Knight Falls, you need to fight against the Glue being into your face all the time, right? That's going to be something that is not easy to deal with, and more importantly, Fedrin as a hero is pressured by circumstances like this.
It's painting a picture right now, You imagine the team fight breaking out. First, I turn off all the lights. You can't see anything. On the other hand, I have the vision because I have Astral Echo. And then the next thing you know, Vernokill is going to be on you. Darius going to be there with the Minoan Fury as well. It's huge. And I'm not sure how Evil intends to respond to that.
Yeah, I mean, right now we are looking at 2 hard negative pointers over to the side of Evil just based off the draft onto Homebois. But I think the main thing that we want to look out for Evil is to play within of their means and what works out for them.
Mystic Gush onto Dairy, taking out a lot of damage, but the silence of the Stinger comes through, and Jace is going to land a first blood here. Dairy goes down next, and Twist looking for some other compensation, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
So what happened there, at least so far, is that Powerful initiated a fight down onto Dairy pretty early on, and that forced JS to rush out with the Mystic Gush. They are on the brink of actually bringing Dairy down, but it also became a motivation for Homebois to actually initiate, or rather counter-initiate against Evil. That eventually puts them in a relatively tough spot, even though Twist came in with the Final Slash. They just don't have sufficient damage to actually back up for all the clock control that they have, because Carrot just don't have the tank items that can translate into damage well enough.
Yeah, look at Pax again, right?
He
He
did it
just
again!
yeah, he
Really?
just
Again?
the orange buff there. Yeah, look at him with 2 buffs now. You would
Oh my
actually think
God!
you actually thought that he was the jungler of the team actually.
Oh my goodness, Astral Echo, as well as the damage being put out here onto Evo, forcing them to back away from the turret. Pex, seriously, Pex, my goodness. Carrot being knocked out, Jerry going in with the Manoa Fury all the way through the backline. Powerful, trying to hold down the fort here. Jerry goes down, Nibiru being put out, Jox trying to find a flank all the way in the backline, but has to retreat for it now. Renner's all the snipes! One from Enya and one from Pex. Unfortunately, not going to land at the moment.
I do want to give a quick shout out over to Powerful though. He actually went in and jumped into the face of Pex just right in time. Just because of the fact that Carrot was just on the brink of death in the event that Pex actually managed to get the Star Shatter past Powerful. If Powerful didn't jump in, that is probably another dead player in the favor of Pex, and that is probably a snowball that we would want to see from the side of Homebois.
Yeah, so this is what I was mentioning, right? Powerful, knowing all the time he's always ready to back up his team, right? He always knows how to play for the team, right? Items wise, as we look across the board here, nothing too interesting here in terms of item choices. Most of them for the side of maybe the Powerful here, right? Because you have to remember, 2 of his buffs was stolen, right? That's why his items here are a little bit falling behind. But what I like here is the 6-slot itemization, right? Because he is very far behind, and being able to use all of his item slots efficiently is going to make sure that he can tank up and still play for the team. And I think very good heads up play by Powerful here.
So at least what he has on his hands right now is going to be the Molten Essence, HP, as well as physical defense. But for now,
Homeboy's gonna pull the trigger here. The knockup comes through onto Powerful Dairy as well. The Praise's Wrath finishing him off there. Venucor in the backline with the split as well. Gonna break the team apart. Trying to run away. The flicker will get hit out for the moment. And it's gonna be one more turtle in favor of Super Jox.
so it's a 1-for-1 trade between the between the both of the roamers. So not much of a value out of the kills itself, but the main thing is that Homebois came in for the objective, and that is what they want. The other thing that they want is just suffocate Powerful. Do not give Powerful any form of ways to actually get back up in terms of EXP. From now on, it is all about EXP, and it's all about keeping Powerful in check. So that Super Jox is always going to be far ahead of Powerful, which will eventually lead to that snowball that we're looking out for, where Evil have to give up all of the Lord incoming.
Yeah, so being 2 levels ahead, right, is extremely important for him as we hit, 80 seconds into the first lot, right? He's gonna hit his level 15 much sooner, which gives him an advantage for probably the first 2 lots until Powerful is able to catch back up here, But most importantly here, we actually see for the side of Homebois, the first tower being taken down. One thing that I noticed for this matchup specifically is that towers cool down super slowly, right? Because 8 minutes in, 7 minutes in, the first tower has just dropped. Normally you see, because of some advantage somewhere, usually one of the towers will fall very early for either side of these teams in a usual game. Yep. But for the side of Homeboy versus Evil, the tower only drops quite late in, and this can be shown to how most of the time they are protecting their goal. Right? Here we also see a pick off on the side of Jox here, using that
Dark Knight Falls.
Yes, correct, properly. That's the most important point, because this is the first time we actually see Hellcat being played here. Right, and being able to show a mechanical proneness, being able to show that mechanically how to hit your stinger is very important as well.
And you definitely have seen before how Hellcat whips the stingers and he's just that as a sitting duck. And with that said, that is going to be Homebois that is trying to get up even more momentum, with the first tier and the second tier defense turret already taken down, which is definitely not going to be something great for Evil. They want to split themselves thinly, but yet they don't have the gold, they don't have the EXP. With this said and done, that is the middle lane and bottom lane taken down. Their purple buff area, their purple buff jungle is essentially they have lost all control of that, and allowing Homebois to trample over them as much as they want.
Yeah, so Venucor here now deciding to pop the split early on because Jox is busy taking on the lot, right? He basically goes into the mid lane, right? Tells the opponent, I'm in your face, you can't come and contest this lot. Yep. And therefore, a free lot being taken here. And as we look at the map here, right? Top lane, there is still 2 towers standing. There is something you definitely want to start getting rid of, right? Take out the mid tier 2, and then with your lot marching down the bottom lane, you would want to, sort of like get if you are able to get this advantage in this third lane here, that would be a very, very big plus into how you can end the game by the second lot here for the side of Homeboys.
I think that one thing that really works out for Homeboys is that they have a very good way to catch and initiate against JS. The main thing about Evil's lineup is that they have JS who can actually wave clear very easily. And if they would do that, they should be able to even break one of the inhibitor turrets that will work for them very nicely.
Oh, the Manon's Ray starts to fight here. Powerful with the Appraiser's Rush, tries to back out. And yeah, in the back
Oh,
line,
Derry!
with the Minoa Fury. And Twist goes down along with JS as well. Evil already screamed, put in the dirt. Jocks on a killing spree here as Pex picks up 2 for himself. The snipe comes from all the way down. Doesn't quite get it yet, but it's enough to get the huge advantage over Evil.
I only asked for them to get a kill down on the god, but they went above and beyond and got 4 other members. This way, Evil have got no way to defend this. They don't have any kind of crowd control or wave clear until JS is back.
Yeah, now they want some form of revenge. Powerful looking to get something actually good. Just gonna clear out minions for now and make sure that Homeboys backs away from this fight, protecting the remaining 2 of their base structures.
For a normal Lord, getting themselves inhibitors and half HP off of the middle lane and the top lane turret, inhibitor turret, I think that that's way more than a bonus that they could have gotten for themselves.
Yes, definitely so, because as I've mentioned as well, right, being able to take down this bottom tier 3, as I said, was a bonus for them, right? And with this advantage coming in, it comes back to the idea of the draft, right? Of how they wanted to, this comes back to how they wanted to play against Evil in the first place, right? Deny them vision, have vision for yourself, and you are going to always find the jump that you need, right? And preventing that vision as well prevents them from even trying to team fight back. So it will always be a one-sided team fight for the side of Homeboy. So I've got to say, right, game 2 vastly different from how game 1 have turned out, and it is a very clear idea of how you want to plan the draft and how you want to execute the draft, and that comes to show, you know, how well Homeboys are doing for this game in particular.
A very vast difference of cause and effect coming in from Homeboys. They identified what is one of the things that will work out for them and what kind of effect will work onto Evil. They took game 1 to understand the playstyle of Evil.
Yeah, they tried to pick off style, right?
Yes.
First.
So it didn't really quite work as well, but now they're trying to just find ways to eventually break Evil apart. They knew that Evil has got great synergy. They knew that Evil works very well in team fights. As such, Homeboys finds a way to disable that kind of team fight element, that team fight magic that Evil has gotten for themselves. And to top it off on top of that is a multi-layered aggression, is that they close off the lines. There's no more synergy between Evil. But before that even happens, they have got ways to eventually kind of like suppress Evil's aggression by taking over the map.
It's super important, right? Especially for a team that really tries to fight synergistically and together, right? They thrive on the ability to see one another, basically, right? You have to be able to see to help out. But when you shut down that vision, they don't. It's going to be utter chaos for them. Now we're looking at the items already going into the later part of the game. Most of them are building out all their damages. Looking at Jocks now is absolute menace.
Let's see. Jones is almost going to be on full slot, right? While in the meantime, unfortunately for Frederick, he's still only on his second full item and is slowly building up into the next. And with the last slot item, it doesn't seem like he's building into the Dom Eyes or anything of that sort. It seems as though he's just going to go straight in for the Blade Armor.
Right now, the teams are fighting at the structures of Evil. The Lord's coming down on the bottom side, comes through already, and Homeboys looking to take that down. Astral pop, bring him pure in the split. Very posturing for the huge Minoa Fury again, and manages to get that jump pure double kill immediately. And now Twist trying to go for the backline to get Enya, but it doesn't matter because Homeboys take it right to the base and secure.